All right, what's going on, everybody? I was up really late last night, right, like until like 4 o'clock, working on some stuff, and I was doing some entries, and I mean like perfect entries. So right now, what I'm looking at is GBPUSD. Last night I closed out on 38 pips on EU, and I'm up right now 20 pips on UCAD right now, which is cool, but I actually just closed out on 100 pips on GU, and I'm going to just go over exactly how I came up with this. Honestly, like this was like textbook. This was like easy peasy. All right, so in the last video, what we're talking about is well, 2 videos before, we were talking about weekly and monthly key levels, and with these monthly key levels, what it will allow me to do is be able to see what could be able to happen for, price reversals on lower time frames. And what we did was we saw point A, point B, and into the future, right? As far as this trend line right here, point A, point B, into the future. And then from there, when we pull out our fibs from point A to point B, we saw this is about 50% right here. And then when we go down to a lower time frame, let's say the weekly time frame, right? We saw, if anything, we could have drawn this on the monthly, but we saw a perfect trend line opportunity, like to the T, point A, point B, and into the future, right? Point A, point B, and into the future. All right, and what we saw was perfect opportunity for that trend line. And being the fact that we saw a perfect opportunity for that trend line, we saw that, starts kicking down and stuff like that, right? Price rejects at this monthly key level to the T, right? Which is pretty interesting. All right, so I'm just gonna go to a lower time frame now. All right, and we see that price is really pushing down. Now, what I do expect is on the daily time frame, price hasn't created a lower high, right? Price hasn't created a lower high as of yet, so I do expect it at some point in time to kick up to anywhere from 38.2 to 50%. Why I say 50% and not 61 is because literally price broke structure at this point right here, which is a weekly key level, which is pretty interesting. So there's many different, things, 3 things, what we call confluence. Confluence is just where many things just line up at the same exact point. Number 1 is from point A to point B down here. As far as fibs, point A, point B, and I already have the fibs drawn out. Point C is it could be at 38.2 or it could be at 50%, right? And 50% literally lines up with the weekly key level. Also, it lines up where price broke structure right here. Okay, so now I'm going to go to a lower time frame like H4, right? And if I was to scroll in exactly where we are at current price right now, we see a perfect opportunity for a trend line. So point A right here, point A right there, point B right there, and from there we drew it into the future, and we saw price picked up, got to this level right here, and that level right here, when I pull out my fibs from point A, with this border right here is just for the fibs. Okay? So point A, point B for our fibs, point A, point B, point C. As we can see, like to the freaking T, and this, like, honestly, this was obvious as heck, right? Obvious as heck. We see confluence. What do we see? We see a trend line literally hit exactly at 61.8. And 61.8, we as obviously know, this is a major price reversal zone, and that's why we have this green. This is money green, right? Major price reversal zone, right? When I just zoomed down into lower time frames, we could see that, you know, price literally gets close enough where it wicks that 61.8, right? Close to it, and literally at that same exact point is where that trend line is, to the T. Come on, guys, like, it's a price reversal zone. Price reversal zone. Price is shooting up hard, right? And then from there, a trend line opportunity where downtrend trend line opportunity. It's so now, being the fact that I see this, I'm just going to get into the 15-minute and see where my entry, where I can be able to enter. Okay, so I'm going to move this. I'm going to show you exactly where I entered. All right. So, I forgot it was here. $25. So must have been in the transition between this one and this one. All right. So what we see here is so in my mind, okay, it's sell opportunity, right? What are my points? On the day chart, it's a downtrend, hard as heck, right? And I'm not going to go against what the trend is telling me currently, okay? On the higher time frames, at least. So on the day chart, it's a downtrend. Well, first, I can go all the way. I can step back. On the monthly chart, it's a downtrend. Number one. On the weekly chart, it broke structure. Oh, let me see if it did break structure. Okay. Point B. Yeah, this is 38.2 over here. Point A, point B, point C, past 38.2. So that was the last lower high. I mean, that was the last higher low, right? Price went up, pushed down, and passed at 38.2. Since it passed 38.2, it broke structure. Amazing. And right now, it's literally at, if anything, 100% of that point right there. All right. So right now, it broke structure in the weekly time frame, and it's now creating a lower low. All right. So from there, we see on the daily time frame, it's a major downtrend. I do expect it to kick up to about 38.2. I do expect that, right? But it's not just doing that right now. And then from there on the H4, what do we see? We see clear downtrend. Lower low. I mean, lower high on the H4, as you can see. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and right now it's making a lower low. Okay. So then from there, I'm going to go to the H1, and what do we see? We see it was making higher highs, but at the same time, on the H1 chart, at the same time, literally the trend line opportunity that we made, right? 61.8 is that green line right there. Right, 61.8 is that green line, and it's just major confluence. This is just like a confidence trade, and then from there, I just go to a lower time frame. I was honestly looking at the 5-minute chart. But we go to a lower time frame, and then what do we see? We see that there was a gap between Friday and Sunday, right? So I had to fill in that gap. I filled in the gap, and then from there, what I saw was this candle was engulfed by this candle. So this white candle right here is a bearish candle, and this blue candle is a bullish candle. So we see a bearish engulfing pattern, like a major one, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just hop in now, right? I'm gonna just hop in now. It's literally when I looked at the 5-minute chart and I saw this right here, just 3 major candles right here. The first one engulfed, the next one kept on pushing down, next one pushing down, and then it engulfed all that stuff right there, right? And as you can see, like it did it again over here, you know what I mean? And it literally it's right at the trend line. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just get it. Started pushing up, and I wasn't scared because I saw that it still held that level of resistance, and at the same time, I'm like, you know what? If it passes that trend line, and if it passes 61.8, I'll get out. You know, because then I'm like, okay, you know, maybe it's trying to start pushing up right now, and it didn't. Kept on pushing down, pushes down, pushes down, pushes down, pushes down, pushes down, and it just kept going. Right, which is freaking beautiful. I knocked out, woke up 100 pips, you know, which is beautiful. So point A, right here, 100 pips, and right now start pushing up and stuff like that. If anything, so I closed out. I think we closed out like right here or something like that. Because I don't know what it's, you know, trying to do. So if anything, I'll just get back in at some point in time. I'm already like up a good amount. I looked on the 15-minute chart, and I saw like, you know, a big candle, right? And being the fact that it really pushed down hard, I just didn't want to lose the profits that I had. So as far as like my exit, right? It was a perfect exit because I didn't, you know, I hardly lost any profits. But I just don't know how far this is gonna go. So because I do expect it to push up at some point in time, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps on, you know, pushing down. I'm just gonna see. I'm just looking for my next re-entries. And as you can see, like literally, it starts doing, you know, like stopping right at 61.8. You know, on the hour time frame, I don't know if it's an uptrend, you know, and just pushing down and then, you know, breaks through there. I really don't know, because when I put from point A, point B, point C, this is a higher low. Point A, point B, point C, this is actually a higher low. Point A, point B, point C, higher low. And if anything, this was actually at 38.2. And if anything, it broke structure. So I don't know. But definitely on the H4 chart, this is 61.8 to the T, right? The fact that, you know, this 4-hour candle closed right at 61.8, you know, right, this is point A, point B over here, point C. I know it's kind of like sloppy in here, but I'm pretty sure this helped a bit. Let me know. Right? I do expect, you know, price may keep on going down, being the fact that on the daily chart, it needs to pick up. I'm excited for you know, price to now break right here. Once price breaks right here for the upside, if anything, I'll set an alarm on that. Once price breaks right there for the upside, oh, it's pips galore. It's pips below. It's pips galore, honestly. Pips galore. So if anything, I'll just set an alarm on that. And set alarms and stuff like that, you do need to have like the premium joint. So this just get that. So 1.3205. 1.3205. Save. So once price breaks through there, I'll definitely look for my buys. And then from there, my expectation is to go to there. So let me see the pips. I'm excited for that uptrend because it's gonna like freaking fly there. 350 pips. And so that'll be take profit number one. And take profit number two would be 500 pips. For that. So first, I'm still looking for my sells. I'll do 1 hour. Still looking for my sells unless, you know, price tells me anything different. You know, if I see on the 15-minute charts, you know, this is making lower highs, you know, like higher highs, higher lows, quote unquote, because essentially it didn't as of yet make a lower high. But if I see, you know, this is trending up, and then once it breaks this point right here, once price breaks this, as far as on the 15-minute chart, then I would definitely I would definitely look for buys at some point in time. But it would definitely have to just break this point right here. So hopefully this help you out. As you can see, like that's why I got out, because I see, you know, starting to pick up and stuff like that. And then at the same time, I really pushed down hard, so most likely price is going to go. This is on the 15-minute chart. 38.2, 61.8, and probably keep on going down. I don't know. Let's see. All right, guys. Really appreciate your time. Write any comments that you have. If I said anything that's confusing, let me know. If I you know, did anything where you know, you're like, oh my God, that's good, you know, let me know as well, because I want to know what you guys are getting, and you know, how I can be able to be better over time. And when it comes to, you know, people ask about news and stuff like that, there was news at 4:30. I didn't even pay attention to that. But price starting to push down right now. All right, guys. So really appreciate your time. Happy pips, right? I'm up for the day. 140, 160 pips. So hopefully you guys are the same. Mind you, this is just the beginning. I just got back on the charts, and like, I'm so happy about it. So happy I could be able to finally have time. So, you know, write a comment, and see you guys soon.